Do you want to go from this to this? Then stay tuned because I have 5 tips and tricks that will easily bring you to the top echelon. Okay, so the first thing is actually very simple, but it's also something that most people wouldn't think of. So in the main menu, you're going to come up here to your settings, go to options, right under general and game, and go to mouse sensitivity, or if you're on console, this might say joystick sensitivity or something. And you want to make sure it's high enough to where you can easily turn and see where your enemy is at all times. It starts around here. I have this up all the way at like 5 something. It makes it a lot easier to play the game. And then after that, once you edit that to your liking, you should test it out and then practice. Go to key bindings and make sure that all of these are very easily accessible to you. Some of these are way further away than you can actually reach in the actual battle. If you're on console, you might want to, I don't know if you can actually rebind these on console, but if you are on PC, go ahead and do that. And after that, you should be ready to hop in. So for the second tip to make you a better Chivalry 2 player, you're going to want to utilize your jab. Now, obviously this is very like something you wouldn't think of. I don't see a lot of people utilizing their jab. It's not something that's like intuitive for most people, I would say. Because a lot of new players, I see them doing the kick a lot, but the jab is actually more useful because you can interrupt their attack. I utilize this whenever I'm using a quick weapon and the opponent is using a slower weapon because you can easily catch them. But it's also useful against quicker weapons if you time it right. Which does bring me to my third point, which is timing. A lot of people think that you have to have all the fanciest moves and doing like huge swings and turns and ducks to get the jump on your enemy. But really all you need is good mechanics and timing. If you could time your attacks right and all your moves, you can kill most opponents in this game. Now there are some people, some psychos that is a little more complicated, but for 99% of players, just having good timing and good mechanics will do you very, very well. So for my fourth point, feinting. A lot of people, they don't really feint in this game. They just do a simple attack, or if they do feint, they'll just switch up which attack they're doing, which is good for avoiding getting countered. But what I'm talking about, when you swing, you cancel your attack and then you do a different attack. You might go for a jab. What I do, I go for an attack, then I cancel it, then I do a kick, which catches them off guard. Because when you see the attack, usually most people block. But you kick them, you block break them, and you can get a good swing off of them. So yeah, do some feints and keep it, which actually does bring me to my next point. The fifth tip is to make sure that you stay unpredictable. You want to always be switching up your attack patterns. Never get too into a rut, because if your opponent is good enough, they'll notice what you do often and then they'll utilize that against you. Like if I see my opponent blocking for too long every time I swing, what I'll do is I'll just kick them. It's very easy. Like it sounds simple, but when you're really into it, you want to make sure that you stay unpredictable. For instance, if I'm swinging and I realize, oh, I'm doing this too often, they might catch me, I'll do a feint. Act like I'm about to do the same thing one more time, and then I'll switch it up. You can easily catch them off guard, and I'll show some examples of this. But yeah, okay, yeah. But yeah, guys, that's my top 5 Chivalry 2 tips. Hopefully those helped you, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.